I want to say there's going to be 3 maps, but I don't feel like it.
Well, let's see what they have to offer us. I think Sprout have got nothing to lose going into this series, so that is something which could play into their favor. They'll start on the T side here on Vertigo. They have intentions towards the A bomb site. We can see Heroic just quietly walking. They'll have plenty of sound cues from Sprout, who are showing plenty of presence, but not quite committing just yet to this A bomb site, and the standard no respect style being led by Cadian may give Heroic some advantages here. But Refresh trying to delay, it seems. And that will allow his teammates to get into position. All 5 Sprout players here. And it begins. Now, how far do Cadian and Shush commit to this one? They're moving up the side, and there's a lot of CTs on the A bomb site as well, so Sprout are in trouble. The flashbangs are here as well, and this is a complete massacre on the A bomb site.
Yeah, that's a suffocation right there. They get pushed up the short shelf, and you already know it's a bad idea, but they can't go back and clear stuff out because it's a nightmare to clear the flank on Vertigo. So they said, okay, we're just going to push in, and hopefully you get the front site kills. And I think there's actually the option to kill everybody and actually go to B, since they know there's 2 players coming up the ramp, the B players are gone. So I think from there's actually a chance they could win, but they don't get those kills, and that's the other thing. Rounds like this, they're almost always going to lean towards Heroic because the aim is that you got to give them the bonus when it comes to the aim. And look at this. I mean, Shush is literally jumping through the air, strafing, throwing grenades with his velocity. Trigonometry bitch, as Roku would say.
That's a great phrase.
Yeah.
So we have a Desert Eagle and a P250. Those are the notable weapons in the hands of Sprout.
It's the Dupree angle.
Well, he was probably expecting more from that.
He doesn't play there anymore.
Well, Storn is on the site, and he does have some range with the FAMAS. He's got some support just around the corner if required. Sprout will look to burst onto the site, create some space. Bomb plant, maybe wishful thinking. Down goes Cressy. More opportunity for Sprout to do some damage here. There goes the Deagle, however. Faven's got the P250. Oh, we got 2 Glock kills now in this round. The unlikely heroes. Just trying to dry them out a little more.
Could be worse. This map is not it's not a fun place to go. It's the highest win rate map for Heroic, even though the low sample size. But the quality of teams Heroic plays, only tier 1 teams basically on Vertigo. So having to go up against Gambit and other teams of this caliber make them so much better for their stats. On top of the fact that and then Heroic pick into it as all of their maps. It's still the best map besides Dust 2. But that's the real big problem. Sprout have 25 maps played on Dust 2, and that's the only map that Heroic wanted to ban.
Yeah.
So they spent all their time there, and that practice isn't useful.
Yeah, that's an issue in this particular series, and Heroic has better stats on every map, percentage-wise, that both teams are playing. Cressy insta-deleted, leaving Sprout in an early 4 versus 5. Looking for initial map control, he spotted Cadian in AWP. It's a long re-peek for him. See Slack's taking the off angle there. That leaves Cadian on 34 HP, so one must be careful. 2 bullets away from Doom now is Cadian.
He threw that smoke so deep that this just allows the push to come through. They're not going to expect this timing. Favin has found an opening wrapping around the short shelf, and he'll almost certainly catch a rotator falling back.
Yeah, they've just...
Oh my God!
Granted, but Refresh. The spatial awareness, real good, and there's Cadian from the other side. Still alive, of course.
I'm so mad for him.
Slacks and Spiddy remain now. They still have the bomb in their hands as they head towards the A bomb site. A minute on the clock. This is still doable. Not having seen the bomb, Heroic will still have 2 players towards B and 2 towards A. So there is a chance for a bomb plant here for Sprout. But first they must find Cadian's angle. Oh boy,
excuse me?
That was not expected. Fast shot from Speedy. He's got an angle to plant this bomb now. Refresh can't do much about it. Just holding, looking for Slacks in the meantime. He's been seen now. The elbow is out. He'll have to try and stay alive as the rotation comes in from his teammate. Smoke is up for now. There's the smoke for Slacks as well. He will redeploy, give Sprout some space as they still have a man disadvantage here. And that clock is ticking. All 3 players with defuse kits. There's just from the back, and that leaves Speedy with a lot to do. Trying to isolate some fights here while he can. Moving into the smoke, and Heroic are going around the side. That clock is really ticking now as he hides in plain sight, but sprayed by Refresh. And it's 3-0 for Heroic.
I think his butt was sticking out a little bit there. Yeah. Unfortunate. Not much room to play. Heroic play really smart, especially when there's a smoke up. if you wait long enough, the only place to go through the smoke, and then you just watch that angle, and you're all good to go. Man, that position where Favin finds an opening, it was such a smart move, and I really don't think Heroic knew that was that he could have walked through. And if he was feeling a little bit braver, I feel like he could have just walked around to the ramp and just gone ahead and taken the fight right away. But he gave Heroic a little bit of respect, thought, oh man, this is way too easy. And then Refresh came in as a rotator, third rotator to A. How could he expect that? And ended up getting the kill. I think in the future, if he finds an opening like that, he'll maybe take heat and pounce on it. Okay. Flash comes up the ramp. Tessus gets one. Luckily, Dennis is, I think, half blind and can't kill him right away.
Have a look at the radar. You can see Heroic gravitating towards the bottom right of the radar there, towards that A bomb site. That leaves Shush alone towards B. And he may have more to do here, as we've got 2 men on road into the B bomb site now, including the bomb itself in the hands of Slacks, looking for that deagle shot now. Really patient, but not quite hitting the mark. Eventually he does, but that's an extra second or two for the rotation from Heroic. I do wonder how likely a bomb plot might be now. Dennis has an AK, an M4 rather, in his hands, and he's catching up with Slacks now. Still needs to cross to the side, so there may be casualties, but not where you're expecting. Down goes Cadian.
2 HEs still here for the CTs.
Oh my God, they're taking so much damage here for Heroic. Might not find an angle for this HE now. Storm has to be real careful. Got a trade frag with his teammate. That's got to be the priority here.
Oh, they go for the swing, and even though Stown is low, he has a teammate there behind him to make sure to get the refrag if they needed to, and also they had that HE. Tons of ways, on this attack, lots of layers to it to make sure that they have a chance to win no matter what the circumstance is. And Sprout don't get a bomb plant. That's the most important part of all, but they still have enough money for the full kit of utility, the op in hand, and all of the AKs as well.
So we've got scopes from both sides, 2 AWPs and the AUG on Shush.
That molly, you see how he's like throwing it and then using his downward momentum to launch that molly over the wall without peeking.
Yeah, you can see how important it is with the angles that were being held. Nice pop flash from Dennis, and there should surely be a... No! Thorn! That's outrageous, that transfer. Trade frag was all but guaranteed. Storm, though, had other ideas in that respect. And he gives Heroic a man advantage. That is an overperformance in a very tight spot. I think Slacks... Was he just spotted there by Refresh? I'm not sure. Still plenty of action towards his B bomb site. See if Cressy is trying to run distraction or if there is a more sinister plan towards B here from Sprout. Did see a lurker in mid in Faven as Heroic waits for Sprout to make a play.
Yeah, it's kind of a complicated position here a little bit. They throw a weird smoke on B. They don't know if they're pushed up there. Shush is kind of in 2 places at once. Got the off angle, primed to get traded, but also primed to get one and keep the man advantage in favor of Heroic.
40 seconds on the clock. Refresh has got some sound cues. And that's half the information. Only 2 plays remaining for Sprout. Doesn't know yet that it's the bomb, but maybe information he will get pretty soon. There's a Molotov to cut some normal CT angles away, but there's the bomb and the last kill from Storm. 3 plays alive for Heroic, not too shabby in that respect. 5-0, the clean sheet remains.
Yeah, it's just smart positions being played all around throughout the rounds, and Heroic never got caught on that lurk that allows you to run it back to the other side. They were just careful enough, and then there's huge individual plays by Stown. One of the most versatile players in the game. Definitely a player, deep in the top 20 last year and could easily repeat. I think one of the biggest talents to come out of Denmark in the past couple of years. Fantastic player and showing what he can do. One of his signature maps as well, we'll see him probably opping as a hybrid, almost looking like a primary sometimes on the A site.
As we move into round number 6, Faven and Cressy have a combined 0 frags. No, we'll look to change that in the next round at least, if not this one. Of course, it's just the Desert Eagles. I say just, but we see plenty of headshots.
I didn't want to be the bad guy and bring it up.
I'm just stating the facts.
Yeah, no, that's good.
I'm just an observer. I'm like a UN inspector. I've got my flak jacket on. It says CS:GO on it.
Global elite.
Again, Sprout. It's trying to cause a little mayhem, a little bedlam, if you will.
See how this goes. Flashing for himself. Hey, shoot me.
That really looks like some kind of game at the circus or whatever,
Like a skeet shooting, yeah.
Well, Sprout have They're having some impacts. They're keeping the CT economy honest, and indeed it is. You can see they don't have much money, Heroic, so they can't really afford to take too many losses here. They get wiped out in one round. They're straight into Eco Town. 35 seconds to plant the bomb. You've got 3 Ts towards A now. The remaining 3.
The real problem is there's not much incentive for the CTs to peek down the ramp in situations like this, and then you just don't have nades to get the bomb down. They're already prepping for this. 20 seconds left. It's clear it's likely to be A, and they can't even plant. That smoke's going to come up. CT's ready to push, and they have extra bodies to throw at the problem as well if they want to.
Slacks and Speedy now, just trying to do some damage. I think 1 kill in the bomb plant is already a successful round for Sprout as far as this eco is concerned. Anything other than that is a bonus.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, they're more concerned about their odds of winning as opposed to how much economic damage they're maybe doing at this point, because they've just got to put a round on the board themselves. Kills are extremely low, as you mentioned, and that's one problem. But it's all about rounds at this point. Game's already getting away from them. It's what we expect from Heroic, but we also hope to see some kind of, upset or strong half or surprising performance out of Sprout, especially because it's their round 1 match. So, they're going to have a little bit more preparation for this match than they would for any other in the tournament. But it's, again, nowhere easy to go in the veto. All right, round number 7. Default once again. And this is maybe the point in the half where Heroic will start to get a little bit looser. Their confidence is probably going to be pretty high. And since they've already got away with so much, they've got to anticipate, well, what's Sprout's next move? Maybe we should try something different.
You can see a second AWP has been collected by Heroic in the hands of Storm now, who's 9 for 1. Refresh is 8 for 0. Again, a great addition to the Heroic squad. I think he's got a very bright career ahead of him.
Ooh, over the nades. Wow. Man, I'm not sure if it worked, but maybe it did enough, the little bit of nade smoke.
JW's done things like that before.
Yeah, that's true.
For his own peaks. So you do wonder. Could be a very sneaky trick there. I feel like they did that on purpose.
Oh yeah.
I'm leaning towards.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dirt peak. Oh boy. Well, that's a painful way to find out about the second AWP. 446 to 448 damage. Getting blasted in the head like that. You could call it overkill.
That's how I'd want to go, though.
Absolutely.
Quick.
Yeah.
Hit scan too. I don't want bullet travel.
Head explosion.
Yeah.
Speedy and Cressy have got 20 seconds to plant the bomb. They do look to pursue this B bomb site.
Oh, this... We boosted up on the box, yeah. This is a fun angle to work with. Okay, and just so much support. Way too easy here, for Heroic. So many players to come in. They've got an op on every site. I mean, they are looking like a chessboard right now. They've got the bishops. They've got everything. Top fragger. It's stalwart defense, and it's very mobile too. It's scary for Sprout because it feels like right now if they give up a little bit of map control, Heroic are just going to come and search it out. They're going to be on the fast flank if they give it up. So Sprout are encouraged to make these decisions early. But some of these early round, bits of utility that Heroic are using, it's hard. You can't really rush on Vertigo as much anymore. Like the pre-nades that CTs are throwing make it so much more difficult to get up B stairs quickly without running through a smoke that you have to extinguish them all and then they can watch you. And up the ramp, all the counter flashes, throwing your smoke deep ramp and then flashing the ramp makes it quite hard to do anything quickly. And that means when CTs get their economy on their feet and they're forced to play that slow, grindy round, this is where Heroic have even more of an advantage, right? Because there's less RNG for them, basically, and they've got more reps at this level.
I'm curious how much Kevlar Refresh has left, considering he hasn't died. 86, so he's remembering to replenish it when necessary.
Or he's not taking much damage.
Yeah, because he could just run out of armor, of course. Just taking damage in all these rounds. And then find himself a little naked. Well, there's his first death. That's definitely cast a curse. Then it's looking for a third. They have to capitalize on this. They've got to move up. Tessa's still dueling just one Sprout player. Those are 2 huge frags, but they're being real careful about it, Sprout.
Yeah, they're actually not a lot of nades. I mean, I like their sense of urgency you're bringing here because, it's 4v3, but once these smokes come up, they don't have a lot of utility to continue forward with the full exec. And the ops are still in play on the CT side. Are they shooting themselves in the foot by peeling back and playing this too slowly? They haven't actually made their way into B either. If they had led with a player, the entire site was rotated out of, but Cressy didn't make his way up the steps.
Look at the response from Heroic. They have full committed to the B bomb site. They are not going to be spread too thin. Pop flash, peek, seeking of information. Now, we're not seeing anybody there. They had rotated away. That is a brazen peek from Shush. No respect style. Sees one at the very least, but what of the rest of the team? Heroic going back towards the A site, but what is Sprout doing?
Oh, wait, Slack's going to die. Oh my gosh. And then the op is still up here, and there's no time to rotate back, so the ETs come over, and this is the final engagement.
Oh, that's such a great angle as well for Tessus. Misses the first shot, but they just stand and peek him, and now it's only Spiddy left who has his gun out. They won't even plant the bomb. That is a real hard round to watch. Launders, what the hell just happened?
I think you said it, like, the way you're casting the action in the first A take, that's where it told the full story. They needed to commit off of these first 2 kills from Dennis. They're too sweet. They got so much map control here. They could have traded on the back of the site. Instead, they let Heroic with the nade advantage, with the gun advantage with the 2 ops, and with the rotation advantage, because on Vertigo, you can't rotate from A to B running. They hear you immediately.
Yep.
So Heroic know if they're not coming up the ramp now and they're walking back to B, we go back to B as well. We meet them there. Shush takes the peek, he gets the info, then they come back to A. Even without seeing them, it's very clear what they're trying to do. So they had an opportunity and they let it go.
Makes me wonder if they're awaiting further instructions in a scenario like that. Well, they've been given opportunity on the A bomb site. I can't see them not converting this one. Let's see how it goes. Heroic are on the way.
Famous last words, James.
Of course. There is a... well, they've got a fair amount of Kevlar as well, because obviously their loss bonus is maximum, so they can splash the cash a little more.
They're legit. Letting them get into place here.
Politely planting the bomb. Well then, be some spray here. That could cost some Sprout players because Biddy and Dennis are just 1 bullet away from doom. So this is an awkward situation. There is a buy for Heroic if they are to get wiped out here. Edging forward is Refresh. Just a smoke grenade now. Maybe it's time to give this one up. 2 versus 5. That might be the case. Going back to the previous round though, like when they got 2 entries from the ramp, and at that point there were 3 Sprout players on the ramp. And one of them was fighting Tessus in a 1v1.
Yeah, default, yeah.
I feel like that's the time to storm the site. There's not going to be, can't imagine there's going to be 4 players on A.
You almost run into the same trouble because I think the difference is, right, if you get the 2 kills and you have utility, then you have the option to wait a little bit because you can re-exec. And if there's no ops as well, or they're on a low buy, or you don't think they have a lot of nades, then you can pause and wait for them to push because you think they're going to be scared. But you can't really scare a team to pushing when they already have an advantage. They're not going to really move. They lack mobility at the op. They have strong lines. So when I see Sprout do these, push up and pause moments, it looks scary for them because they're playing like they have an edge, but they don't.
Oh. Looks like Sprout are favoring the early aggression towards ramp now. They were given a lot in the previous round and caught Heroic completely off guard for the second time in fairness, but his first successful time. We can see Tessus just can't quite see that T right below him, but he gets there eventually. Knows all the angles. Well, the first storm has been weathered by Heroic. Slack's waiting for that peek. Cadian's had a look from there more than once. Quick one with a pop flash. You can see Slax is concerned about more than one angle here, so makes it really difficult to be effective holding that.
It's nice to see the game plan evolving a little bit because the early A-ramp aggression where it's hard to win the duels, but they are winning the duels, is good. I mean, that gets them an edge, but now Heroic are starting to wise up to it, getting better and better at defending. Oof, Slax misses an important shot. Trade comes back for Speedy, but this is info gained for the CTs, knowing where 1 of 2 players are left, and Stown is still here posted on A.
The re-peek will cost him. Cressy now has an angle. They know where one of the remaining 2 players is. There's Refresh though. He's so fast.
Yeah, he's so fast. 30
seconds for Speedy now in the 1 versus 2. Just walks out right. again, I love the lack of respect here from Heroic. It's kind of, it can be dangerous at times, but that is the nature of the beast. But they're so successful with it, especially in this particular game that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and that's the situation where those two last fights didn't have anything to do with tactics or strategy. That was two fights where Sprout were more ready. They had the duel, and then Heroic just adjusted faster. Were just better riflers. Like, Refresh is just literally better. Like, it's tough. It's tough when you lose because of that, but no surprise. Saw what Refresh did that 1v4 versus Astralis the other day. One of the most explosive 1v4s we've seen.
Yeah, he's. I expect huge things from him in the next 2 years, definitely. This is the pick of Sprout, Vertigo. And maybe in that pick lies some regrets at the moment. But not too late to recover. Again, look at the money. It's not great for Heroic. They just need to eliminate. They need to win by elimination here, Sprout. Then they can be like, okay, we've got 6 rounds ahead of us, guys. But we also have a lack of respect from Heroic. Shush again. Cressy with a late emergence through the smoke, and that won't work for him either, or Sprout. 3 versus 5 now. They've got nothing to show for it. HE's going in the wrong directions as well. Maybe they've come into this one a little cold.
Right into his arms. But it trades leg for body here, and Slack staying alive is something. They kind of can keep on to ramp control, but the CTs are just getting too curious. Big flank now. There's 2 players sitting on A. Whether the Ts know it, it's going to be a battle to get through into the A site. The CTs are ready. We'll see what happens. Full passive right now on A, just making sure no mid flanks could come out. But here comes the A exec.
Storm charging up behind them. Again, it's time pressure for Sprout to plant the bomb, and they don't have the personnel to hold position, and it just goes from bad to worse. Storm coming in from the back, and Heroic have 10 rounds to the 1 of Sprouts.
They knew at some point they're willing to take the risks to go for the pushes, and Shush especially, he's been so flagrant with his peaks over on the B site. When he sees nobody there or he gets his kills, he's just going to go through, take the information back, go for a full flank. And Shush is not the player that you really think about aim-wise, especially coming off his last roster. And we did an interview with Cadian recently where he talked about Shush, he's getting prepared to pick up all of the bitch spots, you know what I mean, like the tougher roles, because he's not going to be a core player on this team in that regard. But it clearly looks like his aim level has actually raised, even coming onto Heroic. And again, as Semler mentioned, the stats tell a really good story there, where pretty much everyone on Heroic is putting in a lot of work on the frag department.
It's a good fit. Now, will this jump be spotted? A lot of crap flying over from Heroic. So far, so good. Pistols again. And Sprout going through the smoke. That'll be a trade at the very least. This should be a very strong advantage for Heroic. The AUG will certainly help. Bombs in their hands now, and just 1 by 1 they're going in through a smoke and dying.
That last one was a bit surprising, but yeah, not totally in this right now.
Not the biggest challenge.
This is one of the games where you're like, maybe you learned a lot, so you want to go, you want to end the half, talk about the half afterwards. Here's all the things we could do better, but at this moment, it feels like they're out of their depth.
Yeah, so Cressy and Faven have mustered 3 kills together. At this point, I think it was round 7. They still both had 0. So
infinitely better than 0, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of hesitation from Sprout, and maybe it's, I don't know, the way they've designed their leading, where they literally hold until they're told to press on. But
yeah, I mean, strategically it's one thing. I think it's also fair to say they aren't keeping up in these 50-50 duels. They're losing too many of them, and that's the part of the story that comes down to the kills.
Yeah, especially when you have the AKs every round. Then you got the money for them. That's it's pretty scary. But so is Refresh with an AK on the CT side. And again, we have the 2 AWPs for Heroic, with 4 players now on the A bomb site. After that dismantling towards B, wouldn't surprise me if
you saw it.
there was an A play from Sprout, and that's maybe the read from Heroic. There comes the aggression now. Not going to wait around. Refresh really hunting that one. Labor doesn't quite get there, but Shush will.
Still 2 found in the back, and now this means Sprout are going to be worried about a B push. It's not coming, but they're going to be worried about it. They actually go back to check the flank, which is probably a smart move from Sprout because, yeah, it takes some bravery to do this, knowing that Shush has been right on their tail whenever they've tried this. So they throw a late smoke on A. It's going to serve as kind of a fake. Hold the attention of the CTs. Not actually a bad round so far from Sprout. But that kill comes down, the rotation's out.
Yeah, Cadian's going to peek, I reckon. But
if he had lived longer.
Yeah, the story's being told by the Molotovs on this B bomb site now. Making sure the site is clear. And that allows some time for Heroic to rotate, get closer before that bomb is planted.
This is the God angle. See how far back he is.
3 kits on Heroic, all together. Checking the initial angles. Seems we'll have a
so
boost.
Scary to watch.
Oh, he's going to fall
Ooh.
off. Oh, he's going to fall off.
Is he going to jump, though?
All right, then. No more nades, really. There's the initial trade. That bomb is in an awkward position, though. I don't think they're going to get this in time. They could lose a lot here. Oh, my God, the drive-by. Surely they can't get on the bomb in time. Dennis hiding now. He's going to make it as expensive as possible. Well, they both will.
Oh, they fought hard for that one. Shush didn't even pump the brakes.
I can't believe. Oh,
well,
he's on fire. 19 for 4.
Yeah, he's farming. He's on rollerblades. And again, he's not supposed to be the guy we're talking about first, man. It's supposed to be, especially on this map, it's like Stown, Tessa's signature spot at short shelf there, loves to play that position. But I mean, it's always been a good map for Shush. That's actually, not to say it hasn't. But in this new lineup, very surprising stuff. Very, very cool to watch. 2 rounds left in the half, and a thin silver lining on a very dark cloud here for Sprout as they're able to pick up a second round. And they do it off of some tactical brilliance. Like, they actually find that hole on the way back to B, and they commit to it. And it still comes close in the end, but they put it on the board. That's all that matters. And now money's kind of tight, obviously, with everyone dying. So the 2 MAC-10s here will have to make do.
How many kills is Shush good for from this position? Well, almost 1. It's a long way down. Storm alone on the B bomb site. See if Sprout commit. Molly will try to separate the numbers. All kinds of flashes coming through. He can't see anything. This has to be a round for Sprout, surely. Look at the money on Heroic.
Yeah, those flashes were pretty brutal. I mean, they were chain flashes. Stan was blind the entire time, and they got that opening kill. And that's just better from what we saw on the A ramp, where they'd get the kill, not pounce on the opportunity. Here they had actually very low nades. They used every nade that they had, and once they got their kill, they just committed quickly. That's it. Just beat the rotations. There's no secrets there. Heroic are going to be overstacking the B site in a game like this where 70 or 80% of the rounds have been ending on A. So just smart, pragmatic calling from Sprout, and yeah, a good couple of tactics, some nice awareness, and just some good utility right there. 3 rounds. It's not like it's suddenly doable, but at least they've got some dignity back.
Yeah, it's way more reasonable than it was looking. At least there's that. 4 would be fantastic at this point. I mean, fair enough. If you're outclassed, you're outclassed, but there's still a chance to do something in the second half. Just need a few rounds of breathing. Really.
I think if you don't like, I mean, they like the map. They just don't win that much on it. They play a lot of Vertigo, but I always feel like CT side takes the edge off a bit. Sometimes on T side, I think that's where you see the most amount of discomfort. A lot of the times, CT side, you pick your spot. Maybe you got your favorite op angle. It's a little bit easier to get kills sometimes, but not so much for Cadian. He gets blasted into another dimension. Stown tries to shoot, but he goes cross-eyed, shoots right in the middle of both of them. And wow, Spreader very much alive all of a sudden. 3 kills in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's looking like that much-needed 4th round. Unless the UMP goes absolutely nuclear here, but it's just not something you see these days.
Oh, man. He actually got... Oh, he got in the sandbag. Oh. Tell me there's a chance, James.
There's always a chance.
Okay.
There's always a chance. Crazier things have happened. We've got an upgrade for the UMP as well. Where is this HE grenade growing? To no man's land. It is the last round of the first half. This will be a full commitment from Heroic. Sprout looking to double, maybe even triple peek, it looks like. They will hear the scope. Easy lineup for Cressy. That'll pad his stats. a mentally taxing half for Sprout, but towards the end they string some very crucial rounds together. They have a chance, but how much of one? We will find out after the break. Sprout move into the CT side with only 4 rounds on the T side. This is their pick of Vertigo, and it's time perhaps that they show us why. Heroic, a very tough opponent for them. How many rounds do you think we're going to see out of Sprout?
In that, I'll give them another 4.
Okay.
I'll give them another 4. I mean, I think 16-8, from what we saw, I mean, they barely scraped it together at the end, so I think I'm being generous.
13-1 are the odds that are being offered by Unicorn.
Based on what we saw, I mean, I've seen closer 11-4 halves. That was very,
yeah.
There's a little bit of luck involved, I feel like.
Yeah, some variants with pistol rushes and such.
Yeah.
So, generous odds, but I wouldn't take those ones in particular.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, this is the quietest pistol round in recent memory. We have the P250 on Storn and Shush. They are double raid boss dropped by Tesses. I love it. This makes me very, very happy. That'll give them roughly double the one-shot range of the Glock for this pistol round. Super important that T-sides have this. Can really go fishing with it as well, as they are doing. And Sprout have to peek a little just to see what's going on. Otherwise, Heroic could just advance onto the site, and then things could become very painful. Speaking of pain, Cadian's off to the med bay. Fake plant from Tesses. Very pokey proddy from both squads. Second plant being attempted now. Storm trying to cover. Well, there's worst case scenario ticked off. The bomb has been planted.
They're trying to go for the smoke. Oh, wait, the smoke's come out. Did one land on the bomb? Yeah.
Well, Tesses was as exposed as he possibly could be. And they've lost all position now, Heroic. Sprout being very, very patient indeed. There's the opening kill. There's the defuse from Dennis. Very simple stuff. And Faven will probably get away with perfect armor as well, so he gets a cheap helmet. That was an unusual one.
Yeah, they were pretending like they were going to fight the whole time. And the whole while they also had two smokes in the kit. And you saw they didn't
Zero
buy
cover.
Yeah, they didn't buy any impact grenades. And Heroic were thinking, I guess, that there's going to be some kind of fight. So they're ready to just duel it out, but it never comes. Sprout whittle them down and then go for that smoke stick. And it's strong on the pistol where you don't have great guns to spam with. So
I'm still not comfortable with a second round looking like this. Heroic lost the round. They've got 3 AK-47s.
Yeah, the plant is almost as important as winning the round. Almost, exactly as important.
Yeah. Like, this is, for me, I mean...
The thing is, it's better than it used to be, right? Because it's still messy, but remember we used to cast games and be like, you win one round, 2 free rounds, 1 rifle, it's 5-0, 1 rifle, it's 7-0. And you could still feel like the other team was better, but they got, that one lucky kill on round. And we don't have that anymore, at least, but
yeah,
it doesn't feel right, though.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable here.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable.
I'm just not willing to do the math to figure out the better solution, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what I want, but I don't think it's...
Show it to me.
I don't think it's this. It's not me, it's you. 50 seconds remain here as Heroic really trying to concentrate their efforts. Moves together, combine into some Megazord Power Ranger, some kind of blast cannon. Refresh, of course, might be that cannon. Oh boy, the swing from Faven. They weren't expecting that. And there's 2 of them there. Not sure if that's even been realized. And maybe this round won't be realized for Heroic. 25 seconds. Just a man down at present, but how do they plant the bomb? That's the key issue here. Cressy on the way. Won't be spotted by Shush. Off he goes.
And the lurk. Cadian's going to cause a problem here.
Oh, it was a sound cue as
Oh
well.
my god, that was so fast.
That was so sharp. Cadian has twitchy African fibers. 2-on-2 now, as they've completely slinked past him. It's like Metal Gear Solid. Heroic are playing at present. I think Shush has got a sound cue here as well. Playing a weird angle,
Dude.
and it's headshots 24/7. How this round has turned around.
He just zips him up. How is that so fast? Cadian shot on the door cross. I mean, that looked that looked as fast as picking someone crossing mid on dust too fast. I was like, okay, he's gonna shoot, but the guy will run right by. That was quick stuff.
He's visualizing.
That was good. Yeah, he was visualizing. He was ready for the cross. That was some good stuff.
Saw it happen. Saw it happen.
The oldest.
Saw it happen.
The oldest player on Heroic.
Beautiful. 12 for 5.
Shush.
In favor of Heroic.
And yeah. And like you're saying, this doesn't feel like a round where Sprout just won the last round. So that is fair. Here they come up, all these AKs onto the site, and Sprout know that. But of course, if you know the other team got the bomb plants, you have to upgrade to better guns right away as opposed to the SMGs. I think that's one part of the meta that's somewhat interesting, at least with the money.
I really thought Heroic were done for in that round after the 2-man spray down from Faven, but
it was a good setup. It was great.
It really was, but not enough.
The mid round, super cool.
So we see some presence shown from Heroic in mid, lots of grenades and such, but they quietly move away, it seems, or at least move back somewhat. We've got a big boost on the A-bomb site from Sprout, but this commits a lot of people to one position. You can see Heroic being very patient here.
It's always scary when it's really quiet, but it looks like... Okay. Oh, no, he falls off.
But look, what is the response? Look at Heroic. They move immediately.
Yeah, because they know 3 have to be there.
Exactly. And they could even catch somebody on the rotation. They've got a 4-man commitment to this A-bomb site. Sprout and Heroic are not giving any cues away. How many kills would Cressy maybe be good for? Actually, this little bait could work out for them. Indeed, Cressy will try and make advantage from it. Just the 1 kill, though. And nobody else is there.
Faven finds a sliver of an angle to get a kill. Cadian's slow on the flank. The bomb can get planted, and Cadian has enough time here, I think. The CTs are going to move slowly. They've got some utility to work with. So depending on how focused they are on this or unaware of the flank, Cadian can be offered up a lot. He can also just, take names, say, oh, there's a guy on the right as well. Holy smokes, he's going to try to make this happen. I mean, it's at least 90 damage, but not the kills.
Yeah, he's got a Mac 10
at
range. You can't really blame him. Refresh is not going to be able to hold things down here. The AK is working well for Sprouts, and they're given a second wind maybe here on Vertigo.
Okay, that was generous. I think Cadian was kind of surprised to see someone there on the right, wanted to get even closer, but couldn't get that 1 kill. I thought Refresh was going to grab that because I think Faven had 7 HP, missed his first bullet there, and would have been on for the 1v1.
I think Cadian had the worst common weapon possible
for that
situation.
Yeah.
Of the weapons people use commonly, that was the worst one.
It's kind of smart the way he played that, though. He was the guy who saw the triple boost on the ramp, and then he ends up just walking through A. Because he's so sure that Sprout are going to hard rotate after he tells his teammates to go over to B. Another very strong call, despite the result.
Well then, a chance gifted to Sprout. Sprout now with 3 scopes, 2 of them Augs. Okay, Tesses. All right then.
That's a monster shot, and he seems to be super... Oh, well, he's going to know. Speedy's got... Yeah.
He's just been stuck there.
I don't think Speedy had the option to really take that fight.
Yeah, had to get away. Had to get away. And maybe the cards will start to collapse here. Tesses still on Desert Eagle only at present, but he does have an AWP behind him in the hands of Cadian. Sprout closing on the A-bomb site as well. No lurkers across the map. We're all here, waiting for these smokes to go, and there's 1 minute on the clock, so not too much pressure for Heroic just yet, but that's a spray down from Faven. And Dennis here to trade on Refresh, and Sprout moves to 7. So after the nightmare of the T side, maybe they can find some comfort on the CT side.
Yeah, they begin to make it a real game. We've got another buy here for Heroic to see if that story actually continues or not. No op, of course, but you don't need one on T side. It's kind of interesting. It feels like it's really up to the opper whether or not they want to take a slow round on the A ramp and see if people push. But it's absolutely not necessary for you to win or feel comfortable. Unlike certain maps, they go for the run boost. It's successful. He gets comfortably planted on top of the sandbags and finds a kill. Slacks is out. Only 1 left on B. Sprout might be a touch nervous, but it'll cause Sprout to expel some grenades in response to this death, which makes their situation even worse. And Heroic the whole while have actually decided to rotate off, get up the ramp, and there's no pressure here from any of the close positions. They're also not being shy about this. Wow, this is such a fast move.
Just simply charging, Sprout falling back and getting a fadeaway kill with Faven on the FAMAS. Speedy now. Oh, he's in trouble. Look at that spray. He's got to be real careful. Even if he gets headshot through the wall, that's going to be a problem. Awkward smokes now for Sprout to deal with, and this is surely going to slow them down. Already at a man in disadvantage. They've got some smokes to try and create a wall somewhere, and a Molotov as well. There's an unlikely kill. Storm needs a reload, falls back. There goes Cressy, utterly deleted by Tesses. What can Sprout do now? Speedy with the kit, but they're moving away.
Dan, this is the kind of round that makes... This is what's really hard to play, why it's really hard to play against Heroic, because, there's a lot of teams in the top 20 or whatever that innovate a lot and they bring a lot of new ideas and stuff like that, but I think this really strong mid-round calling is what makes Heroic special, because they're more resilient to this kind of this meta of having to play a lot of CS all the time. Like, they have to play events back to back, and so in order to stay fresh, you have to have something that allows you to stay fresh while the match is live. You can't just bring in new gimmicks and tactics, and it's this mid-round calling that's if you watch Heroic's demo, it's going to be hard to kind of anti-strat their mid-round calling, because that move right there to get that kill on B and then come up the A ramp so quickly, it's like, how are Sprout going to be aware of that? They were never willing to make any kind of move close to that in their half.
Oh, that's a swing and a miss from Slacks. Concerned about a push now. It would be favorable for Heroic to go 1-for-1 here. Blind, and they can hear the jump. They know he's still around, but... Oh my God, what a boost! That was absolutely insane. They won't benefit from it too much, though. 2-for-1 to go Sprout, but that was quite fancy indeed. Speedy now with some aggression towards the bomb side as Sprout tries to take control. Creating some space before a response can come. That's the bomb carrier Refresh, but Speedy may be overplaying his hand there. 4 versus 2, and that is an opening for Heroic, making their way towards the A-bomb site. We can see Faven is there, trying to stay quiet. He's got the information. Cressy's on the way, as is Dennis.
All from the standard rotator position. So the longer that this goes on, the more scared Sprout are going to be that it might be some kind of fake. And Shush, he has the memo that Faven is up close. There's also one Heaven spotted, and now they've distilled the situation. It's a 2-on-2. Anyone's game. Oh, he can't be seen. And there's, again, the option. If they wait, there's the option that the CTs decide to rotate back to B. And also, Heroic could potentially try to beat them there. But they're worried. The CTs are the ones that get split off of this. They don't want to, be sold a bill of goods here. And
oh, FAMAS versus the AK.
Oh,
Refresh has got the AK as well. There's no chance. He has no chance. Might as well wave the white flag. It's just not fair. Dennis now's got to go for the quick scopes. Hasn't given a sound cue away, or just not left enough.
2v4.
Refresh is nasty.
He is.
He's absolutely disgusting.
No Colgate.
That was a great boost. And as strong as he is, what did you think of that push?
Yeah, that was. You know.
Hindsight 2020.
Hindsight's
Right?
2020, but
It was a 4v2.
yeah, that's the thing. I would be, you know, on the one hand, you don't want to give a team like Heroic too much respect, because then how are you ever going to win this game, right? You've got to actually believe in yourself somewhat that you can win a 4v2. But at the same time, do we need like a gimmick? Like, do we need a bottom A ramp control? Do we need to like push through a smoke at any points? And I think that's the question. Like, the thing about holding down here in specific is when you're holding, where are you going to stand? It's actually not that fun to sit here. There's a chance that all these angles can get cleared out one by one, and you know that he could have died even if he got through that smoke. So
maybe it's more of a 2v4 play than a 4v2 play.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I wasn't a big fan of it. Obviously, didn't work out, but again,
yeah,
we're genius with X-ray ozone.
Yeah, it looks bad when it goes wrong. It looks great when it goes well. It's one of those ones.
Yeah.
Sprout now with half the score of Heroic. Continuation spray from TSS. Well, they've seen 2 players towards the A bomb site. Worst case scenario, that means Heroic are 4v2 on the B bomb site. So with that, they might as well speed up before the rotation comes through. Dennis, patient, but he's against Refresh. That's a problem. Not really much to be done here by Sprout, but maybe there's a chance. Faven's given himself a 1v2. Only one of those 2 players is on the bomb site. Don't think he realizes that just yet.
If there's anything we talk about with Sprout, it is Faven. This guy has, you know, consistently top fragged. Last time they played, he's the only guy with like a positive rating and 84 plus ADR. 1v2 now to see if he can scare him.
No.
Oh, but he's missing the bomb too. He wanted to tap it, but he can't find it even.
This is awkward. This is a death warrant, essentially. There's no time to defuse the bomb.
Tough. That's going to be 15 here for Heroic, about to close out this map. I gave him 8 rounds in total, James. Wasn't trying to be rude.
It's an honest estimate. Shush closing in on a 30 bomb here.
Yeah, give him that, because it's definitely already felt like it off of that first half. I mean, I think he's only gotten 5 kills in the second half. That first half was completely insane.
26 for 11 is Shush at present. Refresh 19 for 8. A fair bit behind, but my god, the impact frags.
He don't miss.
And there he is. I think he wants that 30 bomb charging through. Made it to 27, but with 15 HP, it would be somewhat exceptional if he's able to do it in this round. Refresh will take the lead. Cressy, lucky to be alive at this point. Trying to cross to the boxes, and that's cost him almost everything. Heroic in complete control here.
Anywhere works. Only a Deagle to defend A by itself.
That is a chunky HE grenade. Follow-up Molotov as well. Force him from his position and execute him at will. 5 versus 3. A fake for a desperate play. Nothing doing just yet. Farven's up. There's the opening kill for what remains of Sprout. No kit on Faven or Speedy. And then it's just Faven or Farven. And there it is, 16-7. Utter dominance from Heroic from start to finish, really. Great individual play from Shush, and Refresh, of course, you can see he's very happy. Yes.